Hey there, Papa's Posse. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to my eBay, YouTube, and Instagram page. Well, welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's Comic Books, coffee, and more. Welcome back to the channel, Papa's Posse. It's Papa's Comic Books, a little bit of coffee, and more. And today we have Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter, Warlord of Mars, number 21, 35 cents, back in 1978. Title of the story, The Lady and the Lion, by Chris Claremont and Ernie Colon. Now, before we begin, don't forget this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's see what's going on. The Lady and the Lion, the Master Assassin of Mars, Chapter 6, Traitor Assassin. The Jeddak honored you. John Carter, look how you repay his kindness. Summon the Night Watch, Caltech. No, comrade, this Ulcio we slay ourselves. And Deja Thoris and I had hoped to slip away from Carathador, the city of winged men, in stealth and secrecy. It seems that was not to be. The two guards came at us in a rush, supremely confident that they alone could slay me. They were fools. I have to end this fight quickly before either man can raise the alarm. I easily parried the second Orvar's attack, realizing too late that it was merely a feint. Oh! The impact cracked my head against an alabaster column. You weren't expecting that, were you, noble Oddwar? And I went down barely conscious. Beg for mercy, John Carter. Perhaps I'll spare you. John! Desperately, I tried to pull my wits together, but my brain refused to function. My limbs suddenly turned to lead. The strength returning, but no more time. Farewell, Calais Spawn. I pray great issue spits on your soul. You, wench, what have you done to me? Curse you, slave. If I'm to die, I'll make sure I take you with me. Dijon! The guard struck with his race's inhuman speed, his hands locking around his slender neck. In one desperate stumbling leap, I tore the winged man off of the woman I loved, and for an instant my heart froze within me. Deja Thoris lay unmoving, her skin deathly pale, save for a set of angry bruises on her throat. And then there's the Micronauts. Oh no. But when I gently lifted her up, I felt her pulse beating strongly beneath my fingers. John, hush, my princess, don't try to speak. Around us, all was silent. Evidently, none has heard the brief, fierce scuffle. As soon as Dejan caught her breath, we slipped out by the route I had entered the Jedda's palace. John, what are we to do? We can't go back. Trust me, my love, shut your eyes and hold me as tight as you can. I gathered my strength and leapt. I was aiming for a narrow causeway, 100 feet, a fraction or two, over 10 bar Sumian ads below us. We made it, with mere inches to spare. From there, we ran towards the innermost recess of the great cave, and our rendezvous with my young friend Garthen, and then, the fates willing, we would make our way up the secret pathway he had discovered to the surface. We were still a few hads from a goal, when some instinct, perhaps a fleeting telepathic contact, prompted me to turn my head. We had gambled everything on this race, and we had lost. The sky behind us was thick with glow globes, each held by an Orvar warrior, and too many were heading in our direction. They found our trail, Lord knows how. They'll be on top of us long before we can reach the shelter of the rocks. We might elude them, or we might lead them straight to the Garthian and his lady. You go ahead, Dejan. Garthen should be waiting at the end of this causeway. I'll hold the warriors off for as long as I can. No! Wife, this is no time for an argument. Good, for I will brook none. If you stay, John Carter, I will stay. And if issues wills that you die this night, I will die by your side. As you wish, my love. We didn't get very far before we were spotted. Gar, Karis, we found the traitor. They are with Hulk and Nova and Marvel. No, they're not. Stop it. Oh. Gartho, I can see Hera by there's nothing we can do. My father has sent a full dar of the Jedda's Guard after John Carter. Over 1,000 men. Even with our help, he wouldn't have a prayer. He's buying our chance for freedom with his life, Ira. We owe it to him not to throw that chance away. Come, my princess, let us go. With that, Garthon and Hera began their long, arduous journey towards the surface of Barsoom, 8 miles above our heads. I wished them well. In the meantime, Deja and I were giving a good account of ourselves. Many and all of our bravo, well beneath our ballads, that night until warriors hold. In the name of your Jedar, Garkaris, let the battle cease. Garkaris, the Ulcial escapes. Where can he go, Valdaja? There is 6 hads to the nearest Stala site. Put your Uton into the air and out of sword range. I'll waste no more men on futile frontal attacks when there are easier ways. Bring up the battle axes. I knew then that we were doomed. With grim efficiency, the warriors began hacking through the causeway. Their first blows shook the structure so violently that Deja and I were thrown to our knees. Soon, it was all we could do, merely to hold on, let alone try to walk and run. And then the causeway broke apart. Deja! Before my horrified eyes, a winged warrior swooped down and pulled Deja to safety, while I plunged helpless towards the cave floor, a half-mile below, in my spider car. Be not afraid, John Carter. The Jeddah wants you and Deja alive, Thoris alive, for now. Garkaris cuffed me sharply on the head, and my world went black. Were I more a man, my friend, and less a loyal general, I would have let you fall. The end, Chantamar, has in store for you would make the death seem sweet in comparison. My Jeddak, my nephew, is mad, yet I serve him, and thereby make all his crimes mine. And I dare condemn my son Garthon for not being as honorable as a warrior as I. I am not fit to clean his boots. And I awoke to the Deja pressing a cool hand cloth to my temples. We were in a dudgeon. Kayla! Kar, my love! You've slept so long, I feared you would never wake up. Shan Tomar has graciously granted us a last night together. We are to die at dawn. That's a line I've heard before. Come, don't touch me. I am no longer worthy of you. I don't understand, Deja. What happened? While you were Chan Tamar's slave, what did he do to you? Oh, John. She crumbled to the floor, her slim form torn to the harsh, breaking sobs. I reached for her to comfort her, but she flinched at my touch. In our few years together, I'd never seen her in such pain, and it frightened me as no battle ever has. I wanted to help her, but I didn't know how. Deja, listen to me. The past is past. It no longer matters. To you, this is so, but my people are ruled by tradition. I have dishonored my family, my ancestors. And issues, forgive me, if I had all this to do over again, I would change nothing. You had good reason, yes. Then, where is the dishonor you were true to yourself? And for that, Deja, Thoris, I love you all the more. Chan Tamar, you said we would be left alone till dawn. How touching. But my dear Dejan, it is dawn. Is there? In there, you, Carrion, separate them and take the woman to be prepared. But remember, on peril of your miserable lives, neither is to be harmed. The door was flung wide, the cell suddenly wall to wall with armed men. I motioned Deja behind me. If it was a fight Chantamar wanted to give him, one he'd never soon forget. Unfortunately, though, I did my best. The outcome was never in doubt. Her head held defiantly high. Deja Thoris was dragged from the cell. A few warriors escorted her. Most stayed behind, watching me with leveled spears. John Carter. What? My harness? Gar Tars Kars returns it with his compliments. Thank you, Jaxor. Trust Garkaris to leave nothing to chance. Like everyone in Karthora, he thinks my radiant pistol no more than a harmless toy. Yet, he removed it anyway. By heaven, it feels good to wear my own colors once more. Whatever happens, whatever hand fate deals me, I'll meet it myself. John Carter, Prince of Helium, warrior of Barsoom. Garkaris himself led the squad that escorted me to that arena of ancestors, a huge stadium suspended from the cave roof by massive cables. I had seen it often from afar, but now seeing its true size for the first time, I was struck dumb. There was nothing man-made to equal it on Earth, or I thought in Helium. The crowd fell silent as I stepped out onto the hot volcanic sand. Onto the arena, it seemed as if everyone in Karathor was there, winged Orovars and red slaves, all eager for a good show, eager to see our blood. In the center of the arena, Deja the Thoris stood tall and proud, ignoring the taunts and catcalls of the crowd as she flashed me small, brave smile into Spider-Man. Wait, that's Spider-Man. What? What the heck? Oh, yeah, there's Spider-Man. Pizzazz. I knew she was afraid and that she would die 1,000 deaths before letting these sons of Kelets see that fear. Hail, Chain Tomar. All is in readiness. Excellent, Padawar. All Krathar has heard of your prowess as a warrior, John Carter. Today, we'll discover if those stories are true. At least allow him a sword, nephew. He has served Karathor well. He deserves that much, at least. He deserves nothing. Have you forgotten that he tried to murder me, you Jeddak? No, Chantamar. Then be silent, old man, lest you end up naked and unarmed in the arena with him. Besides, most revered uncle, 100 swords wouldn't help against John Carter's executioner. Behold. At that, 250,000 throats gasped as the biggest bant I had ever seen leapt into the arena and roared his challenge to the crowd. Its ribs are showing. Chan Tomar must have starved it. Unfortunately, the bantha had other ideas. I've got to attract its attention, draw it away from Jadar. The great cat took 2 leaps to cover the distance separating it from the Deja Thoris, and I reached it in one, hitting the banthas with the force of a cannonball. The impact bowled us both over. As she watches. Tied up, looks like, yeah. A magnificent John Carter. There isn't a warrior in all Cathar, or in all Balsor who could have done so much. The battle's far from over, Uncle. He's not yet won. Well, you could be a master of Kung Fu, maybe beat that bantha. On sale now. This is worse than fighting a green Martian. Each of the bantha's 10 legs can cut me to ribbons. I can't keep dodging them forever. Have to get in close, stay on its back where it can't reach me. For a seeming eternity, we wrestled back and forth across the vast arena. The bantha nearly twisting itself inside out in its mad attempts to dislodge me. But I held on, even as the beast's claws raked my back, matching its strength with mine in a raw, elemental test of power. And then, without warning, it collapsed under me. Slowly, I rose by my feet, aching to the core of my being. I'd been so caught up in the fight that I hadn't even heard the bantha's neck break. The stadium around me was deathly still. No one made a sound. They were all too stunned by my impossible victory. Then a lone voice cheered, the cheer spreading through the crowd like wildfire. Shine Tomar, listen. Your people request that John Carter be spared. I demand it. Demand, Uncle? Well, why not? I am a kind and gentle soul at heart, ever willing to accede to the wishes of my subjects. You have my word, Gar Carthus. John Carter shall live. But Dejan Thoris will die. No! Thank heaven the arrow missed the bone, and it looks too high to have hit the heart. But if it's hit one of her main arteries. I remembered a young friend hit in the leg by a mini ball in a Shiloh. It had severed the femoral artery. He bled to death in 30 seconds, plucking the arrow from her shoulder. I snapped the chains, holding Dejan, and sprung for the Daedux box into a smooth movement. She's losing too much blood. I need my Thark healing potions, but they're hidden outside the main cave with all my climbing supplies. What am I to do? What am I to do? Iron Man. I know, I'll call Iron Man because he eats Twinkies. Huh? No, okay, let's try here. Live or die, Dejan's fate was now in the hands of her goddess, leaving me with but one goal, to find Shantomar and make him pay for the hurts he had done my wife. 20 warriors stood between us. They didn't last long. As we came face to face, he gave a maniacal laugh and struck his sword, arcing toward my skull. Suddenly, a length of chain lashed out of nowhere, wrapping itself around the Jedic's neck. An unseen hand jerked the chain, spinning him backwards into the shadows. A moment later, he reappeared, falling away from the dagger Deja Thoris had thrust through his heart. Never again, Shantomar, will you dare lay a hand on a princess of Helium, or on even the lowest woman in a Barzoom. John, help, my shoulder issue. It hurts. Be strong a moment more, my love. Comrades, do you see Shantomar is dead? Let all Carinthor rejoice and hail our new Jeddah Gar Karis. Everyone seemed overjoyed at the Shantomar's death, but at that moment I couldn't have cared less. There, the bandage should hold you till I can apply some of Sola's miracle potions. I was never on edge, my hands itching for a sword, every fiber of my being screaming that we should leave this place at once. But I hesitated, and that was the end of us. Warriors seized Deja Thoris and John Carter. What means this Gar Karis? I thought John was your friend. He is that and more, slave. I would as soon lay down my life for him as for any man in Carinthor, sooner. But you two have transgressed our most ancient laws. You have slain Jeddak. For your crime there is but one penalty and no appeal. Even a Jeddak cannot pardon you. Return them to the arena, Treadwar, though it breaks my heart to give this command before the Zode ends. John Carter and Deja Thoris must die. Oh no. Kiss. There's Kiss. And that was John Carter, Warlord of Mars, number 21, The Lady and the Lion. I hope you enjoyed that little reading. And don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as Papa, John Carter, and everyone else always say,
That was easy.
until next time, Papa is out.